there's a reason that Glenn Coughlin hasn't been able to cement a spot in this team.
Kick by Tallis. Now he finds a man in plenty of space, and Harford's had plenty of football.
Not much room down here. Big Peter Everitt filling in the hole, so Jason hasn't got too much room to go to.
They'll have to go to Holland then, won't they, Gary?
Yeah, they've got to go long, and he's on the lead, which makes it a little bit difficult, and they're going in that direction.
Good spoil by Coughlin. Hand pass through the pack. Hawks a chance, but Aussie Jones, great play.
Superb effort by Jones there. He read that the handball was going to come wide and clear the pack, and two Hawthorn players, and he basically put himself right in between them and just kept pushing the ball boundary line side. 75%
effective rate there for Aussie Jones, which is not bad for an on-baller.
He's nearly their best.
Yeah, just about have to name him their best at the moment.
Everitt from behind. Woods ducks his head. Now St Kilda coming out of defence. Gray. Winmar set a task. Got to beat two. Can't do it. Scott.
Oh,
Lawrence.
This could go anywhere, Drew.
I once saw Steve Lawrence win a game for Queensland, a State of Origin game against Victoria, and he belted Jim Steins in the year Steins won the Brownlow.
That's right. There's no doubt that Stevie Lawrence can play footy, and you find most premiership teams usually have the dominant ruckman of that season, or at least the final series. And Stevie Lawrence was that player in 1991, but he's fallen apart a bit since then. Hence you see him turn over the ball. I called it one kick too soon.
Yeah, but you mentioned earlier, Troy Gray's a loose man back here. It's just interesting. You might want to explain for the people at home. Hawthorn must have a corresponding loose player somewhere, and if they don't use him up, well, it's just a waste, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think it's Tallis is sitting back at the back of the square, and he's just pushing off the back of the pack. He's about 30 yards to Salmon's left off screen at the moment, and he's just loitering around there.
Crummell paddles the ball to Lord. Pass for Dunstall. He might have changed direction better in previous years, but it was a tough assignment. Hassell does well. Well done, Johnny Hassell.
Here he is, he's that man again.
Well, it's hard to beat a bloke when he hasn't got an opponent. Troy Gray.
I've even seen Craig Kelly play very well when he's playing against no one.
This is Hudson, the Queenslander, making his debut at the age of 20.
This is a good sign for Hawthorn if the player with the ball holds it up and says to the rest of his team, where are you all? Nobody's leading. Hawthorn, as the opposition player, you love it when they do that. It means nothing's happening.
There's been only one goal this quarter. That was St Kilda. So Hawthorn haven't scored a goal for a while after a great start. Chick tries to go off the ground. Treleaven. Here's surely a goal coming up here to Aaron Lord.
Just a very clever kick, sorry Dermot, but it was just a very ungainly looking kick, but he knew what he was doing, just kicked into space, and I hope we get a replay of that. That was a real smart footy.
Do you reckon it was to Lord from this end? It looked like he was trying to go to Dunstall.
I think it would have probably hit either one actually in the end, Ed, so it's a doubly good kick.
I tell you what, down here when the came into the St Kilda forward line, Stewie went outside 50. There's no one down here. They've just got no one else other than Stewie at the moment to have a sort of goals.
Lord gets the goal.
As you made mention then, Craig, Stewie Loewe, I believe, is the best man overhead in the league, but he really doesn't think his way that greatly around a football ground. He's probably better suited to full forward where you don't have to, well, read the ball that well. The ball funnels into you. So, I mean, once it comes to a situation where you've got to work out the direction of the ball, how it's coming in, where the kick's going to land, how to get to that right spot at the right time, St Kilda's forward line doesn't seem to be, in football terms, overly intelligent. Hence, they all bunched up then.
Exactly, and Stewie's actually gone out to centre half forward, and Hall's gone to full forward. Stewie, Lawrence, and also Graham's followed them.
Coughlin and Holland, as we saw on screen there, having just a little bit of an introductory passage there.
And Gary Lyon, Crummell's the man dropping back in Hawthorn's back line now, the corresponding loose man to Troy